Your dealership website was built to serve the factory's needs, not yours. What you need as a dealer is a website that works for you. At Overdrive Auto Solutions, we've thrown out every assumption about what a dealer site should be, started over with a clean slate, and made you, the dealer, our #1 priority. Let's face it, these factory websites, they're a raw deal. I mean, you're forced to pay out every month to some third-party vendor who in most cases you didn't get to choose because the factory chose them for you. And did they choose a vendor that's going to give you the competitive advantage online? No. They chose a vendor that's going to give the factory a competitive advantage online. Fact of the matter is, they have no incentive to send car shoppers to your site. Who shows up at the top of the search results? Is it you? No, it's the factory. They outbid everybody else to dominate the premium ad position above the regular search results for make-model searches in every market. And that means more car shoppers are being led by the nose straight to the automaker's website instead of the local dealer. And it's great for the customer. They get this gorgeous, modern, interactive brand experience where they get to virtually build their dream car. And they fill out their lead form and it gets sent presumably to the nearest dealer. Hopefully that's you. But it's even better for the factory. They get all this juicy market data from the paid search traffic that comes in from those ads. They get a lot of control over what the customer sees on that site. And they get to decide who gets the leads too. Here's what they know. They know 71% of new car buyers start their research on a search engine, and that they're starting this research 2 or 3 months before making a purchase decision. And they're also saying that the research they're doing on search engines accounts for 1/3 of the net influence on their purchase decision. So you can see how the internet, and particularly search engines, are becoming increasingly critical to the car buying process. Now, let's back up a step. Say I'm shopping for a car, so I get on Google to search for the make model I'm looking for. And let's say I'm a tech-savvy 20 to 30-something. So I'm going to skip over the ads and I'm going to click on an organic search result. Now I'm on your factory site. Am I seeing something that a tech-savvy 20 to 30-something is going to consider to be a gorgeous, modern, interactive experience? No, I'm not. And that's a problem. If I get frustrated trying to use a website, especially on a tablet or a smartphone, I'm just going to go right back to the search results and try somebody else. I'm going to end up on the automaker's site anyway, and that time, it didn't even cost them an ad click. But the raw deal here gets much worse than that. It's not like SEO best practices are some big secret, okay? Both Google and Bing publish detailed guidelines for webmasters that want to maximize their organic search visibility. But what we see on these factory sites instead of best practices are really a lot of outdated practices that are really doing your site more harm than good. And we also see many SEO practices that were never correct in the first place, and those are really hurting your search visibility. And there's also many modern SEO practices that we just can't implement because the system won't let us. And as a search marketer, it's painfully obvious that these big factory site vendors either don't understand the guidelines, or maybe they did once 7 or 8 years ago and they just haven't checked back since to see what's changed, or they're straight up ignoring them as if they don't matter. But let me tell you something, they do matter. They just don't matter to the factory. So of course they don't matter to their website vendors. But SEO best practices definitely matter to the dealerships, and they matter to us too. You know, over the years, we've done a lot of SEO consulting for dealerships, and these same sorts of issues keep cropping up every time. Trying to get anything fixed for our clients is like beating your head against the wall. And that's a lot of precious time that I'd rather be spending working on your content strategy or anything else that's going to grow your search traffic. So one day we just said, look, if they're not going to fix this, then let's just bite the bullet here and build something ourselves that's fundamentally better. And we did just that. Overdrive was built with our best practices philosophy of SEO baked right in. And our development process ensures that our sites will continue to stay current with the evolving standards of search optimization without all those technical issues that we see out there with dealer sites that are really holding them back from their full potential search visibility. We've moved the goalposts so far down the field here in terms of SEO for dealer sites that it's going to be hard for the big players to catch up. So you go to Bing or Google and you type in your business name. Do you rank for that? Of course you do. That's not an achievement. Both Google and Bing do a superb job of ranking sites for their brand terms. It doesn't really matter how well your site's optimized for search. But is Google showing all the enhanced details about your business that are going to attract searchers to click through to your site? Most of the factory sites out there are pretty bad at this, actually, and it's no fault of the dealership. There's a lot of pretty standard optimizations that we can do to improve your local search appearance that we just can't do with these factory sites because they didn't give us the capability. So with Overdrive, we've taken the time to implement what's called semantic markup. And that provides structured information to the search engines like that your business is an auto dealership and provides your phone number, your hours of operation, maybe a street photo. And on the VDPs, it identifies them as being cars for sale and includes all the relevant feature points for each vehicle in a format they can understand. And these kind of machine-readable details can really give your website an edge in search results because the search engines can enhance the appearance of your result with these details, and that's going to attract a lot more clicks to your site. Now, what about shoppers that are looking for any dealership in a certain area, or they don't even know they're looking for a dealership yet? How do you reach those folks? Well, we can help you develop a content strategy that's going to attract and influence more of those shoppers that are in the early buying stage. Let me tell you something. Search engines hate to be manipulated. One way people used to do it, and you still see them try to do it, is by stealing content wholesale from other sites that are ranking well and putting that stolen content on their own site in an attempt to steal some of that search traffic. Google calls this web spam, and the way they handle it is to penalize sites with duplicate content, because they pretty much know which site was the first one to publish something. So what this means for the rest of us is we have to try extra hard to make our sites not look spammy, so we don't fall into that same category in the eyes of the search engines. Okay, get this. Go to Google right now and type in this search, and be sure to put it in quotes. Be sure to consider each trim. What you're going to see is a list of different dealerships from across the country that are all using the same factory site vendor. Obviously, it's up to the dealership to customize their site, but it's irresponsible and dangerous to supply them with this sample copy and then leave it up to them to customize it, because if they don't, they're really sandbagging themselves from getting better rankings due to these negative site quality signals. What we do instead is we work with our Overdrive dealers to develop unique content across their site, because we don't want there to be an Overdrive phrase you can type into any search engine to see a list of our sloppiest work. We'll leave that honor to the big guys. Overdrive was built from the ground up with the needs of the dealership in mind. First and foremost, you need a site that your customers will love, not just tolerate, but actually enjoy using, or at least not be frustrated by it. So that's why we poured a ton of effort into the Overdrive user experience, and it shows. Second, your site needs to be performance-tuned for search engines. They need to be able to crawl it efficiently without wasting your limited crawl budget on a million useless pages that nobody cares about. They need clear signals on every page that tells them what that page is about in the format they're asking for. And they need to see unique content that brings real value to the web. That's exactly what they tell us, and it's really true. We designed the system to accommodate the now and be forward-thinking for the future. So your Overdrive site will evolve right along with search engine best practices. You'll also need a site that's easy for you to update. Overdrive's got that unlocked. We have the best content editor in the industry called Page Builder. And it not only gives you unparalleled flexibility, but it makes building out and maintaining your static content a snap without needing to hire a web developer to do it for you. And our blogging system puts you in control of your content marketing and gives you everything you need to attract more visitors from search and social earlier in the buying process. We also built a terrific analytics dashboard that gives you a complete picture of your site activity, your inventory, and your leads without drowning you in details. Now let's talk about customer support. Trust me when I say we know firsthand how hard it can be to get these factory site vendors to turn around a support request or even get them on the phone. With Overdrive, when you call for support, we answer and we get it done for you. Direct access to our support team means no more having to call around to different departments who don't know how to help you. We realize your business depends on us, and we're here to help. So you keep your factory site because you have to. That's okay, because Overdrive was designed to function as a complementary site. That means you can dial down your factory site package to the bare minimum. Then we can redirect the traffic from the old site to your new Overdrive site. And then your Overdrive site becomes your primary web presence. So if you feel like your factory site is holding back your business, and your dealership is serious about your online presence, and if you're as committed to delivering on excellence as we are, then you gotta try Overdrive. There's just no comparison.